See,
That's a
sometimes with
scary
double
beast.
aqua, yeah, that is a bit scarier than that Rimp last time. They've got a bit more damage. Sometimes with double aqua, people will like to go aggressive, but that's really only when you have damage from your tank. I think, yeah, they've just got enough. That's 165, 165. Yeah. Unfortunate first
Ah,
round. Was a scary beast, but at least you didn't draw more cards onto your plant. That tends to be something that people hate is when they just get a last stood Axie and draw 3 cards straight onto it. Um,
yeah, that's fair. But wow, man, I know that beast is scary, but geez. All right, so you don't play the treat, right?
no, sometimes if you have loads of energy and you don't have many cards, playing a pumpkin into a last stand can be a good play, but it's really quite fringe
Okay.
situations.
So this is
So here
another
you could
skip,
go with
yeah?
all your attacks, because you so there's sort of two thinking passages of thinking here. One is you haven't seen any tank cards; they're probably expecting you to attack, so they're going to want to play tank cards. But at the same time, you also don't want them to pass and then just play all the attack cards, then the koi and the lamb. Yeah, the koi, perfect. The other thing is that you're worried that if you pass and they don't play cards, then you might draw some more cards onto your tank, and you can't use those cards because it's in last stand.
Yeah, okay, that's fair.
I think
All
they
right.
played either Serious Mint or Double Beach. Okay, Serious Mint.
Mint. That's that thing. Oh, it is a mint. Oh, look at that.
Okay.
Do you like the carrot tail, by the way? Is carrot hammer? I know it's like kind of
That,
controversial.
that's one of my sort of not catchphrases, but it's something I say a lot is hate carrot. It's I don't particularly like it. I think it's one of those moves that it's very specific situations that it can work out in, like here, it could work out. But other tails, especially hot butt, is just one that you can use in lots more situations. The ability is more helpful, and just the base stats are better. Carrot has been popular for a lot of time, ever since really the start. After Yam was nerfed, at least it was really popular. And I think it's just because it's quite an easy one to pick up. Like you can see the value, you get an energy back, so people think, oh, it must be really good. But yeah, it's just the base stats aren't great, and other moves like Hotbat play a similar role, but just better. And then
Gotcha.
if you want a different type of tank, maybe you want Hatsune if you're using a watering can. So you just need a little bit extra shield. With Hatsune, you get more shield and you get a disable. There's lots of different moves
So
like that, or a cattail, or even a yam, which do well.
I
But
think
here,
we don't play this Swift Escape,
no,
right? Because I only have
it's
one
just
card. I'm
you
gonna
don't
miss
play.
anyway. Do I
And you
play?
don't actually want to kill the beast yet either, because you would rather the beast stays alive and they draw cards onto an Axie, which isn't going to give them much value because your Aqua's faster and can kill it at any point.
Oh
So
my
they can't justify
gosh!
playing cards on it.
Now that is big brain. You're keeping it alive because I know I'm gonna go first. So now he might have just drawn 2 cards on the beast that I'm about to evaporate from the field.
Yep. So now you can afford your 3 card combo, like a Koi double lamb. And that's all you need to kill the beast, because even if for whatever reason they decide to try and use cards on the beast, they'd need to use nutcrackers to be able to survive, or even get into last stand. So it's not the end of the world if they do attack.
And he just skips.
And
All right,
now
yeah, he plays it
this is
safe.
sort of where your Koi comes in handy, because with these incisors, what they could do, if you didn't have Koi, was just smash you with two incisors, do lots of damage, slow you so they attack ahead, and then they'll finish you off. I don't expect it's going to be a tough 1v1 regardless, so you might still end up losing, but the Koi at least gives you more of a shot. So
All right,
here, in terms
so
of plays, you definitely want to play 2 Kois. The question is how much shield you put up, whether you go with an extra lamb just for a bit of shield, or you just hold off, because you definitely need some energy next round to try and heal up, but it's a difficult choice, because if they do go with their double incisor, then a Navaga Trump, I think they'd just be able to get the kill if you play 2. Here you should survive whatever they play.
I went 3.
By the level of damage.
Yeah. It's going to be tight.
They tried the Navagas, so that worked out all right.
Okay.
Okay.
So, all right, let me think here. The first one's going to miss because of the stun. So we want to throw like a lamb first for the miss and then go all anemones to heal, right?
Yep, that would be the play for me. It really depends how they approach this matchup, because it's not a great one because they're stun, but they could just throw out all their damage now and end up still giving you an opportunity to win. It's going to be a long one either way. Okay.
This is pretty intense. I like it. Double an enemy. This is solid.
Bad. The worry is the stuns.
Yeah, I'm going to start having energy issues also.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, this could be a tough position. Okay. So because you've just seen it, this is another little point. In the top right corner, it shows you the number of cards the opponent had at the beginning of the last round. So they were at 4 last round. They played 4 cards. You draw 3 cards per turn, so that means they've only got 3 cards. And since we think they're only at 2 energy now, no 2-card combo from the opponent, I believe, can kill you, because you've got 2/6/6, and their incisors would do 1/3/2. And the hope is that they don't draw a
so skip. Is that
they just use 2. So skip is the play. Hopefully, they've got the 3 energy.
All right.
So, yeah, the hope was that they had 2 energy, and
he got the crit anyway. So there you go.
You'd have been able to survive.
That would have been it. That would have been all she wrote. All right, that was a tough one though. They had the. I mean, that is like the hallmark of the beasts. I'm not gonna lie. Even the Cottontail, when you get that draw on round 1 or like round 2, you're just loaded up on Rimp cards. You can break a game where you kill an Axie and also gain like 3 energy from killing an Axie. The problem is you like the expected value on that play feels below 50%, where the chances of that happening are so low, and he's so useless unless he hits that combo. Where a lot of these other cards, like I can do a lot with just 1 or 2 card combos with these Axies compared to the Beast. So that guy did get. I don't want to say he got lucky, but that was a good way for him to start that game.
Yeah, I think Rimps is something that people almost grow out of as they move up. They go to more consistent card combinations like a Goda or a Vice for their steals, and then just full damage with like a dual blade risky beast. Some people even use double nut and then a high damage move plus a hero, which is a 0-cost beast move, which does 60 damage as well. And I think that's just for the consistency. And in the higher ranks, you also face a bit more post-fight and moves like that, which is a 0-cost, which is a load of damage. So you want your beast to be able to get its value before it's exposed and before your tank dies. And usually you can ensure that your beast is still alive through energy steals, because if you limit your opponent to 2 energy, unless they have a post-fight or another high-damage 0-cost, you'll survive any card combo in the game. And that's why Beast with Steals are fairly popular as you move up. The problem with a Rimp, as you've said, is like unless you draw the combo like the opponent just did there, you can just be waiting till round 4, round 5 for the combo, and your entire game plan is based on when you're drawing those cards.
Oh, the mirror matchup, dude. Look at this. Except he's got his anemone in the middle, and he has a Navaga or whatever that thing is instead of a Koi. So I think mine is better. I like my setup, although this is a really solid tank. The Disguise, this is good. All right, this is going to be interesting. So, skip or treat, right? Those are our 2 choices here.
You could also just go with straight damage here, because as they don't have a heal tank like you do, and also that sort of set of moves, you don't really play carrots round 1 very often, I hope. And pumpkin as well, it's not really a round 1 move. So I think a Koi and then a Piranha Goldfish, you'd be able to get away with that, because in this matchup, because they don't have that much damage either, you're not too worried about needing energy spare to keep your tank alive. And this is just what we call sort of true damage, where you know they're not going to be playing much shield, so you can just get a quick set of damage off on the opponent. And now they're worried about you following up and getting damage and killing them, so they're probably going to try and put up shield themselves.
I love it.
So you can either pass or just defend your tank, and you expect to see carrots, pumpkins, something like that.
Now, is it crazy to go treat serious here?
That I think that would be my play. You either pass or you pumpkin serious. You're not expecting them to attack too hard. You're probably expecting more of a brick wall. But either way, they're probably going to do enough damage to give value to your pumpkin.
Oh, okay.
There we are. So, and I think that's a leaf bud carrot as well. So they'll have a spare energy for you to steal.
Oh, that's good. And Big Green will survive.
Yep. Very nice. Oof. Willie? Yeah, just about.
That was lucky he crit on that one. My gosh.
Yeah.
That's like as lucky as it, as far as crits go, that's as lucky as it gets from my side. Now, okay, so now the question is, treat aroma. Will I survive?
I would probably go with it, to be honest, because at this rank, again, I'm not sure how many people go for split kills, like one card from each, which is what we spoke about last match. I think it's more likely they'll go with one attack and then try and protect their tank. And even if your tank does go down, it's not really the end of the world. You do have spare.
Wow, you're exactly right. And he gets another crit?
Jesus.
Whoa.
Wow.
How sad would you be, though, if you got 2 crits and you still haven't killed anything? I mean, come on, man. I think the crits are working in our favor right now.
Oh, dear. Okay. So, now they're at 3 again. Or are they 3? No, they're out. So, you can... Oh, a heal would be getting pretty risky, but you could probably get away with it because any one attack from the opponent wouldn't be enough damage. The only combination of one energy, like spending one energy from those aquas that would kill you would be a Lamb Nemo from their midliner. We've already seen one Lamb. So you could get away with that because, again, thinking they're probably going to try and defend their tank. And then I'd go with
let's try it. Oh, there it is. Oh,
there you go.
There it is. This is good though because I have more healing. Like I don't know, we're buying time, and okay, this is solid. I get the carrot. All right, so this is a time to use carrot, right?
You've got your Nemos and everything as well, so you don't need to use you don't worry about having so little energy in these mid spots. You don't even need to use the Nemos yet, to be honest. I would go with 2 attacks from your backliner, the Koi and the Lamb probably. And then you could actually go the double Nemo from your midliner with 1 more attack. And the thinking again here is that if they put up a massive brick wall, you want to be able to get the kill with the combined damage of both of your Axies.
Right.
The only worry is that you end up doing a lot of damage and giving heal to their anemone. But again, it's not the end of the world because you've got a lot of spare energy. You can just wait till they heal up and then finish them off afterwards.
So this is perfect. So this is the split you're talking about where we kill him and now we can do damage elsewhere versus...
So it is an anemone, so they can heal up, but generally that plays nice because they don't have heals on their midliner. Okay. So they have just enough.
All right. And then...
And, actually, so they won't be able to get heal value here because you sped up with your backliner using a Koi, and your midliner got speed ups with your Goldfish as well. So you can go, again, same sort of play as we were thinking last time. 3 cards from the midliner, which is just over enough. You'll do 128, 128, 140, 128. So then if they put up 3 energy worth of shield, they'll just survive. So you need 1 more anemone from your backliner to make sure their midline 100% dies, regardless of what they do. And, if they don't put up shield, you get some chip damage on their backliner.
Yeah. Okay, big shield.
So they'll just survive, and then the anemone just ensures it.
Perfect. Wow. Man, the human calculator over here. So now at this point, fairly straightforward, right? We just play damage.
Yeah, you can afford those 2 cards there because you are expecting him to be out of energy. So you know that he can't kill you with any card combination. But to be honest, I would just pass because you have the speed advantage. Your mid aqua is injured, so it goes 4, and your back aqua has a lower ID. Because what he's looking to do there is just speed up, so he can make sure you can't use any cards from your midliner, and it's just
you're too good at this, dude. You knew exactly what he was gonna do. He was just gonna use the speed up thing, and if I had hit him, I would have just given him the speed advantage. Oh my god, passing is so much ridiculously better than I realized.
And then just get the kill with any combination of cards. You'll get the kill here.
Wow. Again, dude. I mean, not that he would have won with that speed boost, but still, that just completely, whatever little chance he had there, just evaporated.
Yep.
That's amazing. That is actually amazing. Yeah, this spread of Axies is way better than the quad anemone I was running. I see what you were talking about with I like the Koi double anemone. It's actually pretty solid.
Yeah, it's. I think Z was the one that was experimenting with it a while back. Z was in the chat earlier. You might correct me. But yeah, the Koi was always that thinking that you could either speed up against Axies or negate slows. of the opponents. And as long as they don't have stuns, it's a really, really hard backliner to get around.
I think last time I tried to do this where I did one Koi, one Nemo, I confused Goldfish and Koi. So I had them in the wrong spot where I had Goldfish in the back and Koi in the middle. But you want it the other way because you got to take damage for Goldfish to do anything. So you want him to be your midliner. That's a really basic concept, but my dumb ass still screwed that up. So, that's... all right, this should be interesting.
There we go.
What is this guy in the back? Old Shelly here? Some sticky
that's
goo.
What people call a Terminator. They're
Double
really
stun.
popular really popular as you move up. Sort of anything from, I would say, 2000 rank all the way through to top 200. You see them a fair bit, and the whole thing with it is that with a double stun, you can stop your opponent from doing any damage to you in some points. Like you get 2 attacks that aren't stunned if they stun you one round and then have a snail shell the next round.
All right.
So a lot of people find this build annoying.
I gotcha. So this is my big question. You always want to play the serious, but you said you don't want to play carrot on the first round. Is this a bad opener?
Yeah, so because their beast is fairly card combo, card draw dependent, again, they've got lots of combos on it. You're not expecting the round 1, but from round 2, you are anticipating more damage from the opponent because they might have the cards to do so. So a carrot serious in round 2 definitely isn't a bad play. And the whole thing with carrot that I dislike is if that were a hotbutt on your front tank, you could have played the hotbutt serious. If they pass, you don't mind because you get solid damage. You disable their serious and you get steal. But with carrot, if you got a carrot serious, the only value you got there was a bit less damage. You got a steal at least, but you don't get the whole sort of selling point of the carrot, which is the energy gain when they break your shield.
Gotcha.
Oof, that's a lot of energy. You spent all 5, generated 2 there. You'll steal one of those back, so you'll be at 1 now, and then he'll steal 1 back with a serious here if he's ordered it correctly. Yeah, okay. So he'll be at 4.
Wow. So we're at even. Oh no. Yeah. Are we at even energy and he has an additional Axie? How fun.
As in full now.
Oh, 4 with the draw. So we're plus 2.
Yeah. So here, pretty much just looking what's the best way to kill the tank.
So we're looking at like
a bit thin. I'd probably go the Koi from the back and then end with the Nemo here on your front tank as well. And front liner. Okay, so you won't have enough hair. The sort of reason behind this play was that in case they didn't play this carrot, so they would have had 44 less shield, you would have been able to get the kill with the Nemo. And the reason why the Nemo's at the end is that then stops them from going into last stand, because the way last stand works, if you're over by a higher percentage, there's less of a likelihood for them to enter last stand. So playing, 120 damage over a 110 shield Axie is a lot less likely to go into last stand than 30 damage to a 20 HP Axie, and that's why you put that at the end. And again here, same sort of thing as last time, looking to do your split, so 1 from the middle, 1 from the back, because you don't want to kill the beast yet, because you'd rather it be alive for a couple more turns, draw some more cards onto it.
All right, got him. So the hallmark of this guy in the back, what makes him the Terminator is the chomp and the goo together, correct? That's the Terminator.
Double stand.
Yeah.
And then people tend to like a lagging plus something. So the lagging's the horn. Thorny tends to be the spot there, but some people also use things like I think hair is used there as well, which is a high damage beast part. Okay, so here I don't just if I work out quickly, the 160, 146, 40. You'll just be short.
Yeah, I think that's not enough.
With that. Yeah, so you probably want to go with that because you are expecting your guy to go down, or they might even try and brick wall it if they're crazy. But here, this is pretty much the best possible position you can be in against the Terminator, where you just want to get as much damage as you can before they start stunning your backliner, especially since you don't have a 0 cost to play around these stuns very easily on your backliner.
So what is the mechanic of like double stun when he uses 2 stuns like this? It doesn't stack or anything, right?
Yeah, so assume you're in a 1v1 here with this midliner. You'd miss your first attack because you're stunned.
Yeah.
Let's say your second attack breaks their shield. The snail shell then applies another stun to you. So you miss your third attack, and then your fourth attack, you get to their health. So stuns don't stack. So something like a snail shell fish snack, which is another thing that some people use. If you break the snail shell at the same time you use a bird or an aquapart, both stuns are drawn in. So here, just the 2 attacks there, and then koi, anemone, lamb. Your order doesn't matter as much. But yeah, the reason why you're doing this is just, this is probably the last turn your midline is going to be alive. So you're trying to do as much damage as possible straight to the health.
Gotcha. Get as much as you can. You want to break the shield. Got it. That makes sense. You know this guy's sacrificed, so... And...
As long as he doesn't crit. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay. And now you can just pass and full card in next round.
Oh, yeah, okay.
If they're smart, they'll play a double lagging.
The late game passes. That is something I have grossly underestimated.
Oh, that's a massive brick wall. That's pretty good. That means they're probably quite low on energy, or at least cards, because again, top corner, 5 cards means they're at 5, so they might not have their full shield combo. And here, in terms of order, I would say you go with the 2 high attacks first, then an anemone third, and then a high attacks.
Oh, okay. It's going to take 2 to break the shield, you think?
Yeah, because their max amount of shield they can do is 200. Their lowest, playing like a snail shell chomp, is going to be 115, and this is a snail shell thorny chomp plus a lagging. So it works out nicely there in the middle.
Wow. Wow. I'm understanding the depth and complexity of this game on an entire another level. I've seen some of your streams before, and I know that you've I know you play the game this way, but it's still staggering when I'm driving and you're saying all this shit where every time you're telling me to do something, in my head I'm trying to A/B test that with what I would have done, and it really doesn't match up that often. Even at the end there, in my head, I was like, oh, this is over. I got 2 energy. I'll just place 2 cards here and just kill him in however many turns it takes. It doesn't matter. Wow. Are those Terminators expensive?
Complexity. Oh, I think they used to be really expensive. When they first were built, it was a build that Quan made, Quan's with Levox. They started on bugs, transferred over to reptiles, and at the start, they would go consistently for over an ETH. And at the time, that was quite unheard of for battle Axies. They normally only went up to about 0.5 ETH, and he was just rattling them off for an ETH because he only had 5 or 6. There were only that many in the entire game. But now they've been mass bred as the genes were let out. So I believe they range from sort of 0.1 with a hair to 0.175 with a thorny. So they're fairly reasonable. Yeah, and the whole thing with them is that unless you have a 0 cost, it's very painful to beat them in the 1v1, but they get completely shut down by a Gravelant. So you'll often see in the Discord and the feedback suggestions, anybody that runs a Terminator will be complaining about how broken Gravelant is.
Oh, we got a pseudo mirror matchup here. I don't recognize this back. What the hell is this thing? Is that Scale Dart?
A Blue Moon. Yeah, it's not as popular as Goldfish because they weren't on the lines that Ben bred. Ben was the guy that bred all of these pure aquas originally. The risky shoal Goldfish, and yeah, they normally come with Goldfish. Blue Moon's a ranged move, and it does a bit more damage, so it's quite popular on backliners because it's a way to get around Gravelant and Indian Star, and also offers you a bit more damage.
I hate
double
this
steel tank that's quite something. So because he's only got 2 steals, you're not too worried about them stealing from you. Of course they could, but it's not the end of the world because you've got the Nemos to fall back on.
All right, well, I'm very worried about it, but I'll believe in you, sir. Okay, well, my worry was justified. That the first time Indez is wrong. Clip it. There you go.
That's amazing.
Clip it and ship it.
3.
Triple. So he has.
3.
So let me count the energy here. He should have 5 because he had to play an energy for all those. So I have 2. Does he have 5 right now?
Yeah, and he got damage. Oh, that is amazing. Wow. Did not expect that to happen. That's so, yeah, of the 6 cards they drew 3 of their 4 steals from the first hand.
And I don't have a single Nemo, so I can't. And I don't have anything I can combo my bite with. Oh,
sad.
I got to
This would
skip
be
again,
some
right?
comeback. Yeah, you got to pass here.
Oh, jeez.
I think they've stolen again with another rice. That's all 4 steals in the first 2 rounds.
Oh,
Yeah.
my God. Wow. This is some top deck madness. All right, so
Wow.
I'm guessing we're going to want to play the Nemo, yeah?
Yeah, Nemo, probably Goldfish as well to try and get a speed up. The worry is they just flat out kill you, which they have the energy to. We're just not sure whether they have the cards to be able to
do we
that.
throw in a clamshell just in case to try to live?
Yeah, I don't think they'd preemptively heal here.
Okay.
So unfortunately, they did pass. But at least you now have 4 energy and you can probably just afford to spend all of it on a brick wall. I just go all 4 of those midline cards. Because you know if your midliner goes down, you 100% lose. You also think they may try and brick wall and heal. So it should work out all right.
So he does the
that's
split.
a double heal from the front. Hasn't got enough though, just short. 128 here. Nice.
Okay, we got a chance.
Hopefully you draw a Nemo as well now to get some energy back. Because there is a slim shot, because especially as, again, you're at a sort of lower rank, low middle rank.
Yeah.
So you would expect them to misplay against the Anemone a fair bit.
Oh. Okay, this is the dream actually, right? So we got the speed, so we go first, so we get the
got the
tail
Nemo.
slap. Now, do we want to play anything from the back? I don't think so, right?
I wouldn't play anything because all your moves have got a fair bit of shield. So you're thinking about using defense as offense. Playing 1 attack here is 30 wasted shield versus using it next round.
He gets the crit too. You got to start the crit counter here. All right.
So here, probably looking at a koi. You're either double koi anemone or koi double anemone. Again, they do have a fair bit of spare energy, but if you look at the top right, they only have 4 cards in hand. So, 4 cards in hand at the start of last turn. They used 2, so they'll only be at maths work 5.
I'm gonna go double anemone.
Yeah, and worst cases they pass, but then that midline is frozen out. Any cards that are drawn onto it are useless because you're going to kill it next round because you're faster.
Okay, he passes.
Okay.
Oh yeah, the koi gives us the speed boost now. I've lost so many late games to Aquas where I think I'm gonna go first with my bird and win, and then he does that, and I go, damn it, again. I don't know what the cards do. Okay.
Okay. So yeah, here probably just 1 card. I'd go with a lamb.
Just a single lamb.
They could still brick wall, but this is one of those spots that although they could play a massive brick wall on the midliner, if you're trying to account for that, you lose either way. You need 4 energy to try and take on the top
I see.
liner.
It's like a high risk. Yeah. Okay. Well.
Nice. Okay.
That's
so as long as he misordered, but I think they've got enough. Yeah, they got enough.
I'm
damage.
still dead. Yeah. All right. Well, it was close. That was like an almost comeback for a.
Yeah.
Oh my
After
God!
that first round.
What is this? I think I have gotten 1 crit, and I've been crit like 6 times. We got videotape evidence of it. This is. I'm joining team remove crits. Like I'm gonna be writing Trung an email internally before too long. At all issued memo. Crits are dumb.
Oh dear. That is, yeah, they're generally not this bad as well. It just seems to not be going well. And they're coming from Aquas too, which doesn't happen all that often. I play Aquas a fair bit, and it's like once every 10 games you might get a crit.
Oh, man. I can't believe that start. So that energy steal start, though, that's why I don't see that very commonly, like the double steal on tanks. It does feel decent, though. Maybe it's just like a cognitive or like a confirmation bias thing where it feels like they always get it, but it seems not bad. I mean, that was like crippling. I felt like I had no chance to come back in that game after literally the first turn.
Yeah, that was quite that doesn't tend to happen. Like just to think of the, to draw 3 of 4 cards of your 24 card deck from an initial 6 draw. It's not all that likely for it to happen. But yeah, the reason why people don't use more than 1 steal is because a Rise is a beast part, so you don't get any health versus 3 health for a plant move. And you also don't have much shield on there. So if the opponent does just choose to ram into attacks every single turn, granted, they did have a heal on there to try and stop you from doing so.
Mm-hmm.
You just don't have an option to brick wall very often. So you're really reliant on that sponge to get shield on his front Axie. So it tends to be one that people go with. And Sirius is just like a staple mouse. You don't really see much movement away from Sirius on the mouse.
Yeah.
And even though we've tried with balance changes like suggested, I think at one point Sirius had 50-50 shield. Before that, it was up at 80 shield, something crazy like that in the first few seasons. And to think that even at 30 shield and 30 damage, it's still the go-to mouth is crazy.
Yeah, that is... yeah, some mechanics are harder to balance than others, I guess, but it's just the nature of the swing. Like, it took me not very much playing Axie to realize the nature of the swing power. It's a double whammy.
Yeah. And here again, they've got 3 steals. Oh no, 2 steals because that's a chomp on their front tank. So I would say you'd want to learn your lesson from last game and probably play more damage, but at the same time, you then may end up being sad because they choose to pass.
Well, I feel good already knowing that this guy's got a turnip and I don't have a bird. So this dude's like, this guy's pushing all-time MMR highs. He's been killing all these like Lobi bird carriers, thinking he's hot shit.
Oh, look, it's a YGG scholar. 1593. That's insane.
Yeah, there you go. So no carrot, right? That's just bad. No way.
Because they've got a Mary, I probably wouldn't play a carrot. Yeah, Mary's a high shield move on the beast. I think they've actually played a Mary. Rice Mary, interesting. And they've turned off your heal with their Kestrel as well, which is sad because you've got 2 heals.
Oh.
Kestrel's the backline move on their reptile.
Oh, yeah, the horn, the headshot. Yeah, my bird has that. Okay.
Ooh, okay.
So
here, probably looking at a single pumpkin, yeah. Because if they have enough beast moves, they're going to kill you either way. Pumpkins helps you against more outcomes again. Like if they play tank cards and only 1 beast move, you're going to be able to survive with a pumpkin.
I see. I'm understanding more and more why you hate the carrot.
Oof. And another thing is with steals that they can just steal back from the carrot, so it's not great.
True.
How many cards will your tank draw? Okay. Not awful
lucky.
there. And so you still haven't seen any cards from his tank, so not looking to attack yet.
Do I skip?
Probably just pass. Yeah. Because the main thing you're worried about in terms of damage from the opponent is the Tiny Dino, and that only activates in round 5. So you're not worried yet.
Which one's Tiny Dino?
The tiny swing there, 150% damage. So that absolutely eats up Aquas. Does, I think,
holy shit.
Or something crazy like that.
I didn't know this was a thing. 150% damage after round 4. Oh. Oh, no. Okay. So, man, this is another tough spot to be in. Damn.
Yeah, you're sort of forced to attack, although you know it's probably going to be into a brick wall, which is annoying, but it's just how the game's gone.
So do I go like low damage?
I'd probably hold on to the Nemo, to be honest. I'd just go full damage from that guy, and then even pushes 1 or 2 from the backliner. But I think he's just played Tiny Dinos, but without the trigger. I'm not sure though.
Oh, so it's round 4. It doesn't do anything extra until round 5.
Interesting.
So that is Tiny Dino. He just played 2 Tiny Dinos on round 4?
Yeah.
Why would you ever do that?
See, teach scholars better.
Oh, no. All right, so you do like this, something, right?
Ooh, I'd go double Nemo first. I'm not sure how you put it in. Yeah. So just because they're quite low. And then same again, chucking in 1 more follow-up in case they go with a massive crit call. Okay, so that looks like a Rice Mary again. So they're going to get 1 steal, but they're not going to get the kill. They're going to do like 80 and then 65.
Which is the Rice one?
The Night Steal on the tail.
Oh, that's Rice?
Yeah.
Rice tail, that little white blob. Oh my gosh, he lived. So double Swift since he's done?
Yeah, and then the question is whether you kill them yet or not.
Or leave this alive and hope for the card draw since I go first?
Yeah, because I feel like this 1v1's so tough that you almost have to make a play like that, because you can see in the top right they are quite low on cards, and they have played a lot of reptile cards, so they might draw more. You're not sure where they're going to draw, so they might just be out. So I think that's a good play. because you get value out of that guy before he
Okay.
dies.
Yeah.
Looks like a Chomp and a Thorns.
I just feel lucky that he wasted his dinos.
Yeah, that could have been scary if he'd waited another turn. Okay, and now just looking to use one card to get the kill, because you have seen 2 Marys, although they could redraw Marys. I think it would take somebody pretty insane to go with a massive brick wall on the beast right here when they know they've got the.
I don't
the
know.
reptile
YGG Scholar 1593. This guy's crazy. He might be just the guy. All right, let's try the meta. All right, he skips. It's good. All right, I should say pass. I guess I got to stop saying skip.
Okay, and now you can just go as much damage as possible, because there's no.
Yeah,
negligible
right. I go
defense in
first,
shield.
so just save the enemies.
And then the question is whether you die if they go full damage. I think he's going to do. How much does Tiny Dino do? I think he does 165, and then the Kestrels are going to do 138.
If he's got 2 Kestrels and 2 Dinos, I could be in trouble. All right, well,
156. Okay, other way around.
we're
but yeah,
okay. We're gonna live.
with another Kestrel, but okay, and should be able to get the win here. I just go for damage, to be honest, because I think you can just get
all
through with
damage, and he's dead. Yeah,
Yeah.
just straight up.
And you saw there, that was sort of, they could have easily have won that match. It wasn't like outplayed them necessarily. The pass was a good play, of course, but it was sort of, they brought it upon themselves going so aggressive with the backliner and not getting a kill with those dinos. And they also used green thorns throughout the game unnecessarily, and that's why they didn't have as many cards in the 1v1 and didn't draw their chomp there. Because if they drew the chomp, you haven't got enough damage to kill and you just lose the game. Or they have more shield and
Right.
any thing goes wrong.
So that's why
and
you always want to be like kind of stockpiling for your backliner if you get to that late game point, so you have more options.
Yeah, you tend to want to always be at a full hand or at least at 7 cards, so you know you're going to draw every single one of your moves, or at least you've got one of every move. So then you have your options there again.
Okay, that makes some sense. Man, I can't. So that's wild. I didn't really know what Tiny Dino did. I made some reference as tiny, but it's fierce. And somebody said, you didn't hashtag Tiny Dino. And I was like, that's because I don't know what Tiny Dino is. Yeah, I'm showing my newness here.
That was a joke about, I saw that. I debated making a joke on the tweet as well. It's because you said something about tiny but fierce. And they made a Tiny Dino joke, penis joke. I was seeing whether anybody else would make a penis joke on there as well.
I see. Yeah, I mean, that was where I was thinking in my head. I just didn't realize Tiny Dino also had Venn diagram with said phallic imagery.
Yeah,
but
it was. I think just, yeah.
I can't believe he played both of those on round 4 like that. Maybe he thought on that tooltip that it means it kicks in at round 4.
Yeah. But you would have thought, being a scholar and at around 1600, surely they'd have seen the interaction before, but you never know. I guess they were quite close on damage if you hadn't have got up a lap shield.
Sometimes the tooltips are a little bit like that, where I read it and go, is that round 4 or is that after round 4? And it doesn't really...
Yeah, the wording could definitely be cleaned up. I think a lot of it was just done right at the start and they haven't changed it since.
Yeah.
At one point, they were able to just go through, and everyone would just have a list of things. There's a bot in the Discord that does this feedback suggestions. Of course, now it's crazy because there's so many people in there. But the team used to be able to get changes in within a couple of days. But here, again, you see one of these rimps where they're quite combo dependent, so you're not too worried about them being able to get the kill round 1. But this is the card I was talking about with the post fight. I think you've got a post fight bird as well.
I do. Yeah.
Yeah, you start to get more worried because you're on top of counting their energy. You're keeping track of how many post fights they've used, because we mentioned keeping track of elite. Like, have they used 2 of one card? Post fights are a really important one to keep track of, because it's essentially just any other 120 damage move that costs an energy, but they can do it without.
So
here,
do I go for the heal or do I go for the carrots?
You want to keep your tank alive. The question is whether you go with the carrot or not. And again, this is this awkward thing with carrot where you know that you're already putting up so much shield that if they do pass, the carrot is pretty much completely wasted. Whereas if you had another tail, like a Hatsune, you could play that for shield with a heal, or a hot butt would be able to turn them off.
Going for it.
Yeah, really what you're expecting. Worked out really nicely there.
Perfect. Okay, we got it. I've played this lineup enough. I feel like I'm in the head of Mega Man X right here. Now I will say, Indez, I almost spent big on a tank almost exactly like this because of what you said, where I was starting to fall out of favor with the carrot and thought Spicy Surprise could be good. And I watched an Elijah video where I was convinced Disguise is like the play for your frontliner, but I couldn't afford any of them. They were too expensive because the video dropped. So I've stuck with Big Green here. This is my original tank, and he's been in like all of my Axie lineups.
Yeah, I think Leafbug's quite a specific thing. It doesn't necessarily benefit every single team. It's ones that don't have any other direct energy gain or are quite energy consuming that it fits nicely in.
So do you carrot?
It's also just one of those
carrot serious?
I do that.
Yeah.
It's one of those quite noob friendly builds as well. Because, you see, it's that immediate sort of benefit.
Ah!
That's annoying. That's a mech as well. That shouldn't happen.
Are you?
They games against you today. Oh dear. And now watch them have double post fight as well and just clean through your mech.
He might actually. Oh no.
I've had some games where they just 3 beast cards crit through the front tank and then kill the Aqua in the middle with double post fight. But yeah, just all the cards on the midliner, because again, it's that same scenario where the only way you win is you get value out of this guy, because you need those Nemos.
Yeah.
Fortunately, they'll clip you here with some shield, with some of their damage, and you'll go fast and hopefully draw some Nemos.
Yeah, one of those, like, you don't want to attack in the brick, but you kind of have to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is it post-fight or post-flight?
I think it's post-fight. That's something that Elijah's asked me a couple of times as well, because I think it's called post-fight on the card, but flight just, it's a bird. It makes sense.
Yeah. So is this the play? Double Nemo in case this guy dies?
I would use the double lamb rather than the koi. Because you really want the koi to be able to speed up against the bird. You're probably going to get those cards back anyway, so it doesn't matter. But
I see. Save them for later, though. Case. Yeah. Yeah, I guess I don't really care about the speed right at this moment. Oh, no, I'm not going to kill him.
Oof. Not great. It's because they could be stockpiling a lot of bird cards is the problem. Like here, if they have cards, what you're expecting is a 3 or 4 card combo from the bird to kill your midliner, and then some amount of cards from their mech as well to damage your backliner. But you're not exactly in a position where you can afford to cover that play. Covering that play would be playing like a double koi so that you speed up and then can heal up afterwards. But they have Goda, and you've only seen one Goda, so they could knock you down an extra energy, which means you wouldn't be able to make your play afterwards. So it's sort of a toss-up between just playing one card from your backliner, because the midliner's dead at this point, or playing the double koi. I wouldn't even play one from the middle.
Oh. Oops. Well, all right, I was too slow. My bad.
That actually weirdly will work out better because he didn't get the kill.
I'm surprised.
Okay, so here, koi lamb.
Koi lamb. Okay, just 2. That's it.
Yeah. So here,
even with the tail slap draw.
Because that guy's gone. He's going to play at least 2 bird cards. What you're expecting is some bird cards to kill your midliner, and then follow up from their mech if they have it. Okay, and I think because their bird only has 120 damage moves, you actually win here. You just need to put up as much shield as possible, plus 1 koi. So koi, double lamb, anemone, something like that. And you'll survive whatever he does.
Yeah, that's going to be the highest shield. And I should get the kill here.
Play Peacemakers here and try and lower your attack.
This game right here is exactly why I stopped playing Beast Bird Plant. Because, like, I don't know, by round 3, I would have felt like, all right, I want 100%. I just killed this guy. This guy's getting destroyed. And here we are in a 1v1, a double anemone koi versus a bird. If I'm the bird right now, I am sweating.
Yeah, it's tight though, because if they play this correctly, they still win. Which is why you sort of split between plays. Because if you go double anemone koi, you survive just.
I think that's going to be the play. Okay.
Because you're going to have you'll survive with 1 HP.
Are you serious?
No, you won't. You'll be just off. Oh, that's annoying. You'll be just short. But they will.
Oh, he gets the crit. Oh, now it's definitely not happening.
It would have been a draw because what would have happened is, as long as you remember, and they'd have been low enough for where 1 damage of your card.
That is one thing I did like about post fight. Sometimes you can take games where you're basically going to lose all things equal, but you can force it to a draw. That is a good feeling.
Yeah. And that's the thing with having sort of a heal tank as well. Is players tend to go with a bit more damage just because there were lots of spots there where you could have gone with a bit of extra damage, but just didn't really have the ability to. So you might find that as you play a bit more, is without the heals, you're just sort of stuck in a, this is how I'm going to play the early game, this is how I play the mid game, sort of.
So like, let's say I have this lineup and I'm looking at swapping out my tank. What's your ideal tank for this kind of double aqua thing?
I would say
like you want these 3 and you
cactus.
Just swap out aroma.
I'd swap out the carrot for a hot butt, then heal the aroma for a cactus, and then the pumpkin Cirrus is solid. That tends to be what people use. Or to make it cheaper, you can swap in beast parts for the horn, so like a pocky or a little branch or a jewel blade.
Is cactus that thing that does more damage if it goes last?
Yeah, so it's got lower shield, but it's more of just like round 1 and 2, you can deal a lot of damage with your tank, and it sort of fits in with how people play double aqua higher up, is where, round 1, not expecting as much shield, so you can just spam a bunch of damage early and then play a bit more passive when the opponent decides to play more shield, that sort of thing. It's the general outplay that you do with the double aqua. And with here, you're sort of just set into, I'm trying to get as much value out of my tank as possible, and in order to do so, I have to keep it alive and use the heals, so you can't necessarily deal as much damage.
I see. Well, I was just looking at the marketplace, and if I'm crazy, I don't think there's any available for sale that fit that parameter. Unless I did the wrong one. Oh, no, there we go. Okay, my browser was messed up. There's no way. Yeah, I was going to say, there's absolutely no way.
Oh, yeah, mine did that as well. Yeah, it was doing that earlier. I got scared that I'd been hacked.
Yeah, where it shows no results.
Yeah. That's it.
Well, I just got it to pop up results a second ago. I don't know how, but maybe it's just a 1 out of 5. Oh, there we go. All right, so there's a 4 breed for 0.12. Okay, yeah, you're right. These are pretty mass bred.
Especially because I've been using double aqua for a while, but I swapped to this tank like season 14 or 15, and yeah, the usual when somebody in the top 10. I think there were a couple of other people using it as well. It's just that it becomes a target to breed because everybody wants it and tries to copy the build.
Yeah,
it's just the essence.
I really wish I had stocked up on actual pure Axies. I also bought a couple that were labeled as pure that are not pure. They're just 6 out of 6. That was
I think that's something that I'm not sure whether the seller doesn't understand it or whether they're trying to just take advantage of people that don't understand it.
I reckon it's a combination of both. I don't know. I definitely didn't get it. My tank is pure. I got kind of lucky. He actually was. He's already been bred a bunch of times though. Yeah, I might pick up one of these and just play around with it at some point. Not right this moment, but like later today. The cactus is interesting. I got unlucky and one of the aquas I bred had cactus, and it's so terrible on aquas.
Yeah, I think that's generally the thing with the market right now is the pures are just crazy. I sold because I breed for a scholarship. Well, I've got my own scholarship, so I have lines bred for them.
Mm-hmm.
And we had this 100% pure turnip tank. But I thought, well, I'm not going to waste breeding this, so I'll just check it up for an ETH. If it sells, I'll be happy. And it sold within 3 days, which was just insane. That somebody's gone and spent an ETH.
Pures are actually worth that much right now. That's bananas. Was that a zero breed?
Yeah, 0 breed. It was a solid moveset, but still, an ETH when they probably only sell for 0.2 a piece when bred out. It's quite crazy.
Yeah, that's bananas. Wow. All right. Well, that's a good call on the tanks. I thought healing was better. It's weird when you come into a new game from other games and you kind of project truths that you know from your previous gaming experience. Like, man, healing's really broken in Dota 2. I bet healing's really good in this game. And one of the free Axies that they gave me like a long time ago, like Alex hooked me up with like a battle set in season 2 that I never used. But the one that was labeled as healer, he had the thing that heals the Axie in front of him. You know what I'm talking about? It's like it doesn't.
Whisper. Yeah,
I think it's bad.
Or strawberry. There's both of those ones. They're like the joint for the worst cards in the game.
Yeah, that was really generous of the Axie team to give me one of those as my first Axie. I played one battle with it. Was like, this feels awful. How do I time? Like, timing healing on one Axie is hard enough. Timing it on the Axie in front of you is like, I don't know.
Yeah,
that's a pretty not fun mechanic for a noob.
Yeah, there's a couple of moves like that that are just a bit questionably designed, but you know it's going to happen.
Okay, so this guy's got a legit Aqua though. I know this guy, or I know this thing, right? You get the thing where you attack the idol. Oh no, he doesn't have the combo. Never mind. You want Perch and Shell Jab. He only has Shell Jab.
Yeah, that's a bit evil.
Okay. Yeah, my bad. I got overly excited.
He's got that one like your one.
So he's got this scary mother though. It makes me want to play this.
Yeah, like again though, I think you've had some crazy sort of fringe cases. I generally won't defend against the Rimp Beast round 1.
All right, you were right. You're right again.
And now this is when you sort of, the question is how much you defend. Generally, I don't like to play Pumpkin and Carrot in the same turn, but since you have so many tank cards, there's something to be said to play a Pumpkin and a Carrot. Preemptively healing, you generally steer clear of as well.
Is that too YOLO?
Yeah, I would say so. So I think probably Pumpkin Carrot, just because you have so many cards on that front tank, you'd be really sad if it completely died.
Well, this is another thing that I hate about Carrot is that it is counterintuitive to the treat, where like you have these moments where all right, I get to draw a card or I get an energy. I kind of break even. I don't really feel like I got to win there.
Yeah. Okay. Again,
so do you double tail slap?
Spot. You could. The only argument for it is that they have a faster Aqua, so in case they kill your tank, you want to be able to use just straight damage cards next round and not have to worry about gaining energy. But generally, you wouldn't make this play. But here, I think it's all right. And then the question really is, again, how much do you defend your tank? Like you can go double Nemo, and then Pumpkin. Do you go double heal? Do you go a heal? Do you not heal at all? It's a difficult decision because, again, it's a Rimp, so you're basically reliant on whether they've drawn the combo or not, because they generally just play it as soon as they get it.
Yeah. And all right, he's got a combo, and
he will survive as long as I don't crit.
Okay, I wasn't positive I would. Glad I played the heal.
Yeah.
Wow, that heal actually.
Always scary.
Whew.
And then they'll steal one.
I am glad I haven't bought a Nutcracker Rimp though. Like I've thought about it.
Did you see that? They just crit you with their Sirius, so they generated an energy with the Imp. Oh dear, that's miserable.
Is that? Oh my god, it's crits it's like by your team crit. This round. Are you kidding me?
Oh dear.
Okay.
I'd
probably double serious, yeah.
Oh dear. Well, at least he'll tap your midliner as long as they played at least one Carrot here, because it looks like double Carrot or any combo of carrots and heals. Don't be double heal. Don't be double heal. It was double heal. Okay, so you will still be slower for now. So you can go. I'd go double Piranha. Well, actually, double Clamshell Piranha Goldfish would be my play. Because you want to play your Clamshell for shield and then at least one Goldfish just for the speed up, in case they don't hit you with the Aqua.
So, but the double speed up does work, right? Like
yeah. So I mean,
yeah, but it's overkill. Like you just don't need it.
Yeah, and the thing was here that you didn't really even need a single Goldfish, because the way the speed order works is that the second determinant past speed is the health of an Axie at the time. So there you would have had 0 health because you're in last stand, so you would have attacked before theirs anyway. So here you're going for your normal split kill. One card from the midliner and one card from the backliner. It's looking a bit ropey because if you had an extra energy, you'd feel all right. But here it's just a bit
Yeah.
Not too sure.
And he
what's gonna
got
happen.
another energy gain, dude. He got like all of his carrots. He got that lucky crit. He got. Oh, God, this is rough.
Okay. So here, this is again where you got to make a heads-up play and just pass, because to put yourself in their shoes, they've just gone with 4 aqua attacks. You have 4 energy. Their beast is exposed. No one in their right mind goes with the beast combo here unless they just have shit tons of energy and they can spare the energy.
Okay.
You're also not expecting them to have those aqua cards. And now again, yeah, he passed as well. So now again, you're thinking, well, unless they have 4 aqua cards, you survive. So I'd go with double lamb anemone, because you don't want to be faster than this aqua next round. You would rather be slower.
So that I can heal, because I want to be able to
And
survive.
actually on the order, go lamb, anemone, then lamb, because there's one scenario where if they don't kill you and they leave you in lamb range, your trigger allows you to do enough damage to where 2 of your cards would put the beast into last stand, and they'd survive with one last stand bar, which would not be good.
That's some serious big brain shit. Wow. Okay. I don't think I even knew how last stand mechanics worked, to be honest. So you always want to hit him with like the
there's a
big
formula
damage.
for it.
Yeah.
I
I think I looked at it, but I didn't digest it.
Yeah, you generally just get a gauge, like end combos with lower damage cards, and when you'll get used to how much damage your cards do, so then you'll just be able to work out, okay, I don't want to barely kill an Axie.
So he's got a pretty comparable amount of energy. Do you want to go double lamb, double an enemy?
Yeah, so I would say you either go double lamb, double anemone, or double lamb, or lamb, triple anemone, because you know that they're going to use all their energy. You know that they're going to be faster than you because they have the goldfish, and you also know that they're going to have enough shield to survive against any combo of damage you do.
And we don't want to use Koi to go first next time.
Yeah, because their goldfish will just negate that entirely.
All right, so we actually overplayed the anemone. Yeah,
they've played it well again. It seems people are quite aware of the anemone, which I wasn't expecting, to be honest. So there, you're just playing 3 cards and saving an energy would actually have been better. And I guess that's because in their spot, they've only got 128 damage cards at max, with the 110 damage. So they wouldn't be able to kill you if you played all your shield. But you've got a spare energy here, so you're not going to lose. I think you'll probably draw. No, they just won't kill you and you'll heal up. The question is whether you kill them or not, I think.
I think with Blood Moon, though, we should be in okay shape.
The lamb trigger. That's the thing that they were going for there. That was actually really well played. That they're just short by 3 anyway.
Oh
my god. You're going to win. Wow. So they played that really well. But for whatever reason, they didn't play their 110 damage cards. I guess they just didn't draw them. Because if they'd have played, instead of the Babylonia, another one of those cards, they'd have got the kill. They'd have been over by 6 damage. Wow. So that was a tight one. But it's crazy that all of these players seem to be very aware of the double anemone, whereas sort of other basic things they don't seem to, be as aware of. But the double anemone seems to be something they're playing around really well.
There seems to be some dynamic of like, I think, what's the way to say this? There are these basically beasts. There's these illusion Axies that seem like they're really, really good to new players. But the more you play, you realize that they're actually pretty easy to play around and they're not nearly as good as they seem on paper. So like the Rimps with the Cottontail kind of fall into that category. And I think double anemone is kind of like that. Like when I was a new player, I saw that and went, whoa, you stack them and then they double into heal. Whoa, compounding heals. I'm on to something. And then like you think you're really big brain, and I'm alone in that camp of overvaluing healing. But I think to new players, that idea of like Axies that can heal sounds really good on paper before you've really dove in. It's like the anemones are a little bit of a bait.
An anemone, that definitely falls into that category, because not too long ago, anemone, again, like the other heal, like Silence Whisper, moves like that, was one of those just unusable cards. Nobody used it. And then it got a damage and also a healing buff, I believe, one season. And that was when you started to see people use it as tanks. AK and I used it as tanks that season and finished fairly highly and did really well in tournaments with the build that I told you about at the start, with the Rice Goda Beast in the middle and Reptile. And at the time, although it's still a decent build to this day, I did a video with Elijah on it, At the time, people just were like, well, how do I kill it? They've got steals, and I don't want to be energy stolen from. So they just spam their cards, and you just got loads of anemones, and you carried on healing up. And it's that same sort of thing, is that until you're used to the mechanic, you think you definitely overvalue it and think it's better than it is. Like, it's still a solid move, but it's not as good as people make it out to be or think
like,
it is.
Even Nemo falls into that category a little bit, where it's both sides, because like one Nemo is really good. My dumb ass was running double Nemo for a while there. Not nearly as good. You end up in these games where you have like 9 energy but only 2 cards to play, and it just feels like a waste. And you draw another Nemo and you're like, oh my god, why am I doing this to myself? So like Nemo, like sometimes, like even like I said with Disguise, you know, you mentioned like it's pretty hyper specific. You really don't want it unless you're really running some like backliners that don't have any 0 cards. But from my perspective, it just felt like, hey, this is objectively good. My tank can just give me more energy. How's that bad?
Yeah. And I think it's different. It's sort of a blessing and a curse in the same time. So as we spoke about with the simple complexity, it is nice that newer players, they can play and they don't have to be overwhelmed by the complexity and depth to the game. But at the same time, it then can become quite frustrating when you're trying to explain these concepts to people that, you know, they're pissed off about something, like, oh, aquas are overpowered. They always speed up and kill my bird. That's something that I see quite a lot. Like, they have everything. And then until you realize that there are other Axies like reptiles and dusks, which easily counter aquas, you can't just say that to somebody. You have to try and, you know, walk them through and explain. Yeah. And it's always a difficult thing, especially with, you know, the claims, oh, Axies luck dependent, or it's pay to play. Like, you need to have a really good team. Otherwise, you know, a good team's always going to beat somebody else. It's those sort of things are difficult if they don't understand the complexity, and it's also hard to explain it to somebody without almost demonstrating and walking them through it, because you could even show them a replay of somebody and it's that same thing. Like, you watch somebody else playing, you're thinking, yeah, I would have done that, and until you're actually in their shoes and playing yourself, you don't realize how difficult it actually is.
Everything's like that. I'm always better at Jeopardy when I'm watching, and then when I'm playing Jeopardy, I'm terrible. I don't know what it is. You don't see frontliners with the shell like this very often, the sticky goo. This is an interesting tank. This guy's all over the place.
Yeah, that looks like Beolve's, one of Beolve's. So before energy tanks were as you've seen them with the pure plants, they were on some aquas. They were also turned up on these snail shell builds as well. And it was just where they were. Like, the genes were only available on that sort of Axie, which is crazy to think about if anybody's new, like that builds just didn't exist. But yeah, that was, at the time, this was what was played. And snail shells generally not used as much on front tanks because it's just more easy to play around it.
Yeah.
When you've got more Axies and you can calculate it more easily, and in order to sort of manipulate like he's done here.
Are you watching me big brain this guy right now, dude? Look at this. He played double carrot and I didn't break his shield. Oh! God, that feels so good. All right, what do I dismiss here? An
Probably
anemone?
get rid of an anemone, and then just heal pumpkin. Yeah. And that's the thing with the snail shell, is that what he's trying to do there is play so much shield that if you played like one card and a Nemo, trying to break the shield then using the Nemo to catch, you would have got caught out and missed one of your high attack moves. But in order to do that, they had to play 3 energy worth of cards, which is just a massive investment. And that's why it doesn't work as well on the front. That was very tight.
I'm sniping this so far, but I'm running out of big brain moves here. So I think I ditched the healing card, right, and just accept that he's going to die.
I think without a pumpkin, it would be very risky,
Yeah.
And now you've seen one snail shell. What did you see another one there? No. You've seen one snail shell, both carrots, 2 leaf bugs, and a Sirius. So probably expecting to see another snail shell here. So what I would do with the order is I'd go with the piranha up top, then a Nemo. That's Crimson Water, Nemo, then Crimson Water, and another goldfish.
Like this.
Well, it doesn't matter that much. But yeah, just in case you saw that, because again, you're not too worried yet about getting the kill. Although they've sped up here, so it's not as good. The thinking was that you go first, so you don't have to, you don't have to kill this Axie yet. But of course, they've sped up, so they are able to kill you now. So you need to make. Do you need to? It's whether you survive or not. It's difficult. Without the 3rd card, they can probably kill you with a 4-card combo. So it's a bit risky to go with the cards. If you had 4 energy worth, the play here would be to go with a couple of cards on your backliner to get the kill on his tank, and then follow up with enough shield to survive against their attacks and enough damage to kill their beast. But the worry, of course, there is that now they might kill your Aqua. They might also play a snail shell on the front tank, so you attack into a snail shell and you just lose out on all that value.
All right, let's try
we'll
this.
See how this works.
Yeah, I don't know if this was the right play. We're gonna try it.
I think he'll just get the 1, 3, 4, 1, 2, 8. Yeah, just enough. Rough.
Yeah.
Unfortunate. But again, it's not. Well, it's bad, but it's not the end of the world. You can still win from here.
We've got a chance. Okay, so we go
same
first.
Sort of thinking is
no enemies.
Same thinking as normal is that there's no point in even attacking because to them their imp's dead. They may not know you're only at 3, but to them their imp's dead because Aqua kill beast, so don't want to play any cards on it, and that is a really bad play because of course it's going to give value to your anemone. So here I would play probably just triple anemone, to be honest.
That's what I was thinking.
Because
is that
I
won't
think
kill
they do
the beast?
113. So you'll just put it to last stand. You won't kill it. But I don't think that's the end of the world, to be honest. Unless they go with these cards.
Because when it's in last stand, they still draw cards on it, right?
Yeah, and that's why it's like decent for you. The only worry is that they'll have enough time to draw a 4-card combo from their Aqua. But yeah, this is definitely the best play.
Okay. I would have been pretty tempted to run, like put a 4th card on it.
Short. Yeah, so you could also have done like another damage card instead of that, but I don't think, again, it's not the end of the world because we'll still be able to get a heal.
It's weird, like these middle beasts, like I feel kind of bad for this guy. Like he's probably got the combo, but he's afraid to play it because it's just going to be a waste, you know? But the irony is if he had played it last turn, he would have won already. It's like when the meta gets so meta, doing the wrong thing is actually the right thing. That's what makes
and that's the thing. Like lots of people don't think to do this, like passing against Axies, because they think, well, they could still go with it. There's that thing in the back of your mind, like if he plays it, I lose the game. It's quite a high level thing that not many people do, but with Aquas you can get away with it a lot because you're so quick.
But I'm not going to get to heal that much here though, because am I going to hit him twice?
But the worry is,
do I do 2?
You could, because you've got energy 2, but I wouldn't go with 3. I'd go either 1 or 2.
We'll go 2.
As long as that isn't a koi, you should still be alright, and you'll actually kill it. They've thrown this game so hard. You'll win here with double lamb, double koi.
Are you sure? See, this is where I would...
Yeah, because you get your bonuses. So you're going to do 152, 152, which is going to be 304, then double 128. So I think, if the maths serves me correctly, you should be doing...
Are you sure you don't want to 4 an enemy? Isn't that like, we'll be at 100%, it's foolproof?
You could do it for a troll, but they'll be quicker next round, and then they might be able to finish you off. That's the worry.
Oh, okay.
So I think just trying to kill them is better here. But they're out of energy either way, so I think you'd still win. This is just a more consistent play.
Okay, all right. I want to believe. I want to see the big numbers here.
Yeah, so you're over by a mile.
Yeah.
The worry, of course, was that the quad anemone or something like that, they would have survived because you're doing 93 a pop, and then they'll koi up, so they'll be ahead of you next round, and then 2 cards might be enough to get the kill.
I so would have thrown that with 4 enemies, dude. Holy shit, you're so right. Oh my god, Aquas are so ridiculous when it's like these Aqua Mirror matchups, because I have to think about some situations I really want to go first to do damage first. Some situations I want to go first so that I can heal from the residual damage from last round. Sometimes I purposefully don't want to play Koi so that I can go second and maximize my healing from an enemies because I know he can't kill me. But then you got to factor that in with his Koi and his goldfish bullshit where he's always got the option to go faster. God damn, dude. That's so many variables. I love it. My brain, I feel like I'm playing Dota right now. My brain's spinning. Wow. Yeah, Coin Breeder in chat says, take the kill, know the math. Yes. Well, great advice. Easier said than done. Wow. All right. Well, what do you say we play like one more and then we can wrap this thing up? I'm starting to get a little hungry for lunch.
Sounds good. I've probably got dinner ready downstairs.
Awesome. All right. Yeah, let's do it. See if we can round out on another win here. Wow. This has been the most dense 2 hours I've spent in a while. Oh, gosh.
Oh, no.
All right.
That
so
back kind of looks scary.
So we got, this is Tri Spikes, right?
That's a green thorns on the back.
Oh, that's green
Tri
thorns.
spikes is 80 damage, 50 shield. It's a backdoor move. Here, the scary part is that their Cerastus and Tiny Dino combo, they're going to be doing 156 and 153 per hit. So they'll do just over 600 damage with a full combo against your backliner, and that is over the amount of shield you can put up because your max shield is like 176.
So this is like
so
basically get to round 5 and buy time with these two. We got like Beefcake in the front.
You need to get the kill pretty much, and for him, he's just. It's a weird build because that bug's more of a backliner. So I'd probably just pass round 1 because he's quite combo dependent on his damage. His main damage here is going to be that Thorny, and he needs triggers for it. So he needs either a Chomp or a Lagging to trigger it. It's on the bug in the middle.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think you can get away with playing fairly low on shield. I'd play the Pumpkin series here because you've got another Pumpkin, so it's not the end of the world if they pass. And you at least get a card draw out of it versus a Carrot just going into their Pumpkin and not doing much for you.
Okay. Get a little steal.
Nice. Okay. And now, whether you go Pumpkin heal or Carrot heal, I think is the decision. The worry with Carrot heal, of course, is that they just kill you. Worry with Pumpkin heal is that they pass when you put up lots of shield. It's wasted. But either way, the heal should get value as long as you're alive.
It's going to be a little close.
It's going to be very tight. It depends what they've played here. It looks like a Snouter?
We're done.
Okay. They would have been over either way, whether you'd have played a Pumpkin or not. So the Carrot works out nicely there. And so you've seen a Carrot and a Pumpkin from the frontliner. So you could even pass, but I think at this point that's not a good play because you're going to be ramming into a tank rather than getting to the position we wanted to get to at the start, which was getting some damage off on their backliner whilst you still can. So probably all 4 cards from this guy. I'd save the Nemo even. Yeah, just all 4 damage and then 1 from the backliner as well.
I still haven't wrapped my brain around
right either way.
The ideal time to use the Nemos.
So in this matchup, looking to use it to catch his Snail Shell in the middle, or just to play around last stands here because you know that like here you can go Piranha double Nemo, and you know that so the way the class bonus works is that because you're at minus 15% against plants, but you do it the other way around with the Piranha first and then double Nemo. You're going to do 120, 30, 30. So if he puts up no shield, the first 2 will hit. He'll have 1 HP. The third one will hit and he'll die. If you'd have gone the other way around with a double Nemo Piranha, he's more than likely last stands. And now you can add on 1 from the backliner as well, just to make sure you got the kill. So like a lamb or something like that.
Gotcha, okay.
And that was why you went this way around rather than the other way, where that he probably would have last stood out of this. Yeah. So he probably would have last stood out of that, and then this lamb doesn't hit the bug. Instead, it just rams into his last stand as well. Okay.
I have so much practicing to do. Okay.
This is a bit awkward because you know that he's going to try and brickle this midliner, and you don't have a great way of playing around it. Like ideally, you have your midliner be faster, so you can just play loads of cards on it and not worry about being stunned on your backliner. But unfortunately, that's not going to happen here because you've got to play. I would say 2 cards from the backliner, 2 cards from the midliner, using the clamshell first because you're going to get your bonus damage with its ability.
Oh yeah.
And then probably just double